This video is sponsored by Sell Your Mac. I know it's probably too early for most of you out there to even remotely think about the iPhone 15, considering that we just got the iPhone 14, but the holiday season is in full swing, and I think a lot of you are maybe thinking of upgrading phones for Christmas, and I'm gonna tell you don't do that, because I think the iPhone 15 might just be worth waiting for. Now, before we get into everything, I do just wanna let everyone know that there are chapters below if you feel like skipping around, but I think you should watch the whole video all the way through, but maybe I'm biased. Also, please leave us a comment. I like to have discussion with people. I want to know your thoughts on the iPhone 15, and also like and subscribe because it's Christmas time and Santa is watching. Okay, now, iPhone 15. Have you heard the news about the buttonless iPhone 15 Ultra? Now, this certainly has been the attention-grabbing headline that seems to be popping up all over the internet, so let's just, let's talk about it. Also, yes, I said Ultra because it appears the highest iPhone will end up being branded as maybe the iPhone 15 Ultra, and I'm certainly on board with that name because the Pro Max is getting out of hand. Anyways, back to the no buttons thing. Basically, instead of actual clicky buttons, the power button and the volume buttons could end up being solid state, according to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. Kuo states that the devices will be equipped with 2 additional haptic engines that provide haptic feedback to simulate the feeling of pressing buttons. So think about the home button from the latest iPhone SE or the trackpad on any new MacBook. Apple was rumored to be planning to switch to solid state buttons for like several years now, but the change actually never took place. At the time, it was said that the solid state buttons would improve water resistance and take up less internal space, but it's not clear if that's actually the case for the iPhone, since sufficient space for 2 more haptic engines would be required, and so that kind of seems like a lot going on in there. But I'm personally on board with it, and again, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think Apple did a really good job with the haptic home button. I think after a while, you really couldn't tell that you weren't physically pressing a button. And same goes for the MacBook Pro trackpads or any of the MacBook trackpads that have that haptic click instead of an actual click. And so yes, I would love to know in the comments down below if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. Next up, USB-C. Yes, Apple is finally giving us what we all wanted. No more Lightning, USB-C across the board. And of course, this was not done by choice because the company was legally forced to do this by the European Union. iPhones sold in Europe need to have USB-C ports by 2024. So either Apple has to make a worldwide design change or create special iPhones just for Europe. And I'm guessing it's a lot cheaper to just make it for everyone. Apple themselves has basically already confirmed this, and Ming-Chi Kuo has also commented on this, stating that yes, the iPhone 15 will in fact switch entirely to USB-C across the lineup, but there appears to be a catch, because of course there is. Kuo states that USB-C will in fact have significantly faster data transfer speeds on the iPhone 15, but the USB-C port on the standard non-Pro models of the iPhone 15 will be limited to USB 2.0 speeds, which is exactly what you're getting with Lightning. So yeah, you can almost certainly expect Apple to be marketing it up like some crazy new feature for the Pro models, which I mean does make sense for those who want to shoot in ProRes formats and high bitrate video. That stuff is large. That's a lot of storage space and a lot of large file sizes that needed to be transferred, and 2.0 speeds just isn't going to cut it. So USB-C will definitely help that out, but it's a bummer it's not going to be across all of the iPhones and mostly for the higher end ones. Now, transfer speeds is not the only thing you can expect to be faster on the iPhone 15 because every year we usually get a faster chip, at least with the Pro models, and the A17 Bionic chip, which is what's rumored to be in the 15, is manufactured on a 2nd gen 3nm process. And I fully expect it to be blazing fast as if iPhones weren't already fast enough. And to help with that, we can expect the Pro models to get more RAM. How much more RAM? Well, the standard models will of course remain at the 6 gigs of RAM that we get right now, and higher end iPhone 15s should come with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, this isn't nearly as much as some of the other Android devices out there that boast up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, but iPhones have notoriously always been low in the RAM department, and performance really never seems to take a dip because of it. So it'll be interesting to see if any noticeable improvement comes from this RAM increase. But honestly, like 12 gigs of RAM is so much for a phone. Is it really necessary? We can also expect to see some interesting camera improvements, most likely in those higher end models, of course, as one rumor suggests that we're finally going to get an increased optical zoom rate due to the new Periscope telephoto lens. This could mean an increase of 10x optical zoom compared to what we currently have, which is only 3x optical zoom. A lot of other phones have been featuring better zoom capabilities, whether it be optical or digital, like the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and most recently, the new super high-res zoom on the Google Pixel 7 Pro. And so Apple has always been quite behind in this department, and so I will be excited to see how well it stacks up with some of those other Android phones. And lastly, surrounding the new iPhone 15, it's been rumored that this new phone could actually feature a slightly new design. According to Twitter user Shrimp Apple Pro, which yes, that name makes me laugh literally every time, the iPhone 15 will make a switch to titanium for the chassis, and the back edges will be rounded to create a new border, similar to the bottom edges of the case for the MacBook Pro on the 14 and 16-inch models. As of right now, and since the iPhone 12 really, the iPhone currently sports a squared off edge, and so this design change will kind of bring us back to what we used to have on the iPhone 11, or at least a little bit like that. I'm not entirely sure if this design will only be for the higher end models or for that Ultra. Certainly the titanium seems like something that Apple will want to save for the high end models, but the rounded corners could be a design change that makes its way across all models. There have been a few mock-ups and concepts floating around based off of these rumors, especially the one you're looking at right now I think looks really, really good. And I'd be excited if the iPhone looks like this, and I'd be really excited if the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro and 15 Ultra get all of these new features that we just talked about in this video. But of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Are you actually just gonna end up upgrading to the 14? Are you waiting for the 15? Please let me know down in those comments. And before we do end this video, I wanna give you more information about today's sponsor, sellyourmac.com. Sellyourmac.com is now an OWC company, and Sellyourmac.com is the #1 most trusted Apple trade-in website out there. The website helps Apple users get cash back on their used devices to help fund new Apple device purchases. So whether you are upgrading to the iPhone 14 lineup, or you have a Mac sitting in your closet from your last upgrade, you can get an instant price using the trade-in tool. For a limited time, you can get a $15 bonus on every item over $100 if you head on over to sellyourmac.com right now, which is the safest and easiest place to trade in your used Apple devices. So click the link in the description down below for more details. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.